wants to know something about the doctor, she wants to know something about the call tax facility that is available. All those details are available. You will see most of the time these touch screens are crowded, and you will see only maybe urban poor are using this facility very effectively. This is the sterilization system we are talking about. Previously, we had a very conventional stainless steel sterilizer. They were hogging electricity like anything, and we were spending a lot of money on electricity, and we had problems of capacity. And later, we got 2 of these sterilizers, imported sterilizers, completely automated, and they can be networked. And you see, we are able to completely control the processes that are going. You know, whenever an NABH accreditation or something is going to happen, they are very particular about the processes. You know, how did the sterilization go? And every stage of the sterilization we can see like this, which was very difficult in the previous system. See, when the drying, maybe sterilizing, heating up, all those details are available there, and it says process is complete. And I am able to see on my laptop. Believe me, I am able to see every day whether my 2 of sterilizer are being used, which is on standby, in which cycle it is, whether it is being fully utilized. All that detail, the workflow, I will be able to see it on my laptop, and you will see the sterilizer 1 and sterilizer 1 is sterilizing, and it says sterilizers 2, the process is complete. So this is a third-party software given by the Getting a Sterilizer. We had a lot of difficulty in getting that software because we had to practically fight with them, because if you don't know, if you don't ask, they don't include it into the purchase. Okay. Then you also able to get the graphs, what cycle and what is the time with which the sterilization was done, at what temperature, all the detail is available. The intensive care, again, a revolution has taken place as far as the care in the intensive care department using ICT. Whether it is your cot, which is completely automated. Somehow I'm very impressed, and I am very particular that all the intensive care units should have this kind of automated cot system with a remote control, where all movements can be done using a remote control. You must understand, a nurse in an intensive care turns the patient in different positions at least 10 to 15 times a day. Just imagine if there are about 15 patients in a ICU. We are talking about 100 ICU beds in the hospital. In our hospital, we are talking about neonatal ICU, we are talking about surgical ICU, CCU, CTU, maybe a medical ICU, surgical ICU. All that put together, we are talking about 100 surgical beds. So just imagine the number of movements that a nurse has to do. She has to bend down, crank, and do all that. But now everything is done. We can make the life of the nurse very simple, very easy, very comfortable in the whether it is in the operation theater or in the ward or the intensive care. You use the ICT very well. You see the number of gadgets and the facilities you have. And I was very impressed when I went to Boston, and you know what it is? This is a portable CT. I saw those guys wheeling in a portable CT, and CT was done in the hospital, in the ICU in the hospital. But what all could do in our hospital was, maybe we had a good X-ray, then we made it a digital X-ray, then we had a portable X-ray. We brought the portable X-ray to the patient bedside, and then we brought the digitizer into the ICU. We put the digitizer into the ICU. But what they did was, they just brought the CT scan itself into the ICU. So this is how the CT scan is done in the ICU. Just imagine the convenience a patient will have. A patient has a head injury, he simply comes into the emergency, immediately he can be rushed into the ICU, CT scan is taken there and can be maybe moved into the operation theater for surgery, or he may be retained in the ICU for a very conservative treatment. Okay, now this is another thing that is happening in our ICUs. This is the mobile device. In fact, in one of the stalls, our vendor, he has got this device in his stall now, and he has given us for a demo. This is a mobile device which is Wi-Fi enabled. It has got a camera into it, has a RFID detector into it. It has a handwriting recognition onto it, and the nurse has to simply carry this along. The doctor has to simply carry this along, and then put the orders, maybe ask for some tests, anything that he can do or she can do, even our diet orders, they can pick it up from the bedside. Everybody said it will not happen in India. They said it will happen only in UK, it will happen only in US. Believe me, it is happening in India, at least in 4 or 5 hospitals today. This is how it is being used, and in fact, I saw it in the IT conference in Singapore about 5 years ago. This is the pneumatic pipeline system. I am very interested in this because it can change the culture of the hospital. It can change the working culture of the hospital. This is how it is. I'm sure some of the hospitals here have started using it. This is a system where you have a capsule, you have a container. You just have to put all these like this and then load it on to workstation, and it's like an intercom. You just simply say 5, it just goes 5 floors above. This is how it was in Germany when I went, and this was one of the hospitals in Germany. There is the maintenance engineer showing me this. This is what happened in CMC Vellore. I said, if it can happen in Germany and if it can happen in CMC Vellore, why it should not happen in India? Why it should not happen in our hospitals? And you see, previously we were doing like this. We have a system of delivering medicines to the patient bedside. So maybe in the last 20 years, we were having about 500 patients maybe, and we were morning and evening, we were transporting medicines like this. Maybe the empty containers used to come like this. That means inpatient pharmacy, the boys, there were about say 20 boys, six boys dedicated to that pharmacy, and maybe other boys during the other parts of the day. Totally 20 boys were going around all the time, and 208 trips were made. In the laboratory, similarly, when the samples were delivered, 161 trips were made. And when this was installed, you're talking about being installed, the nurses are using like this, maybe in the lab are using like this, and maybe even in a surgical store, they just put in the samples, and this is the control room where we can monitor. We have about 28 workstations, and all these 28 workstations work 24 hours a day, and we can monitor how many transports were made, how many transports were made, and we can track the canisters, we can track the capsules if they are stuck, and we can repair them. This is how we can monitor here, and this is how the pipes go through. We have about almost 1 kilometer pipeline in the hospital. Believe me, 1 kilometer pipeline, this is how it goes. And you will see, I have given the latest figures. You will see here, 27th of July, we have made about 852 transports. Can you believe 854 transports being made from basement to the 7th floor? My God. See, this is sometimes during Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, you have huge load. Maybe during Saturdays, during Sundays, you have little lesser loads. And this is as of yesterday. You see about 672, 732, 618, 801 transports being done. And one innovative thing we have done again. We can't invest heavily on this, and maybe we would have invested about 35 lakhs to 40 lakhs on about 28 workstations. We are very prudent. We didn't have workstations in all the wards. We said in each floor we will have only 2, even though we need 3. And we also said, why should we transport the empty containers? It doesn't add a value. So what I told my boys was, collect all the empty containers manually and send only loaded containers through the system. So, and that way I saved about 120 to 130 transports. In effect, that means we are making about 1,000 transports a day. And somebody complained, it takes a lot of time, waiting time is there. I did an analysis, I found not more than 3 minutes or 4 minutes is taken for transporting. Believe me, these canisters travel at about 8 meters per second. 8 meters per second, and just imagine maybe you have 7 floors. All the 7 floors will be crossed in a matter of less than 1 minute. This is how it can be tracked, and it talks about the various stages, when the blower is on, when the blower is out, when it is discharged, all that. And this is the mobile technology. This is very interesting. I think last time also I showed you this. In some cases we failed. In some cases we succeeded. If Dr. Singh is to ask me, Ananthapadran, I saw the same slides, I remember. Believe me, these lab results we have improved. When we started this, maybe we started with about, say, 50 or 60 lab results, and we did a pilot. We said whether we wanted to check whether the patients are quite happy about it. Everybody was thrilled. The person from Tirupur came and said, this is very useful for me. May I keep traveling and I get the blood glucose results. So now today you are talking about